I go to fashion design school so you don't have to. Welcome! Handmade studio, where I share the knowledge from fashion school so that more divas can be well-rounded in their fashion. So today, in the Chronicles of Sewing 101, I'm going to teach you how to properly thread your sewing machine. Right here is my beauty. Let's do this thing, babe. You want to start with your large spool. I'm using burgundy, of course. And the first thing you want to do is make sure that the thread is pointing away from us. We're going to put it on this little shaft away from us. So when we pull the thread, it's going to go that away. And then you put on the thread stopper. You really don't want to forget that. It's not going to go well for you if you forget that. So every machine usually has some guidelines, steps of how to thread the machine. We are up close and personal with our machine, okay? We've got the thread, it's going away from us, and we see step 1, and it's telling us to go right under this clip. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I have it on an angle so you can see that this little step 2 is a claw foot, and I'm going to put the thread in step 2 right under. Those are the easiest ones and you're good to go. So now step 2 is telling us to go down through this little gap of the machine. You can see that little number 3 is telling us. So that's what we're going to do. And step 4 tells us that we have a little U. Follow that U for step 4. Now step 5 can be kind of tricky and it needs to be done right. Otherwise, the rest of this isn't going to work. So we see our manual hand wheel. We're going to pull that and watch as this little foot comes up. The reason why I put the thread on this side is because we don't want it to get caught in this while we put this little foot up. Step 5 tells us to put our thread through the little claw hook. It's just like step number 2, but we're going to go right back down again. And then you see step 6 is leading us under this little machine flap here. There's another claw hook that's not vertical, but it's horizontal. So hopefully that is right. So we're going to go right down there, and this one just holds the thread back and out of the way. You can see that little claw hook right here. That's where my thread's hanging out. Alright, now we need to thread the needle, which is the most exciting part. I'm actually going to turn on the machine for you so you can see this a little bit better. We want to make sure that our thread is cut diagonally. This is going to make it a little bit sharper. I'm just using a rotary blade. You can use scissors, whatever you prefer. But here we go. Our little thread is as sharp as can be, and we're just going to find that little needle hole and go right through. We don't want any existing threads on the end of this, otherwise it's going to be basically impossible to get through this needle. Alright, I've got the thread on the other side of the needle. I just put my finger there to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Grab it with my little nail, and I'll pull it through, babe. Perfect. Moving on, we're going to enter the bobbin thread into its little home. So we want to make sure, this is step 1 of this, we want to make sure that your bobbin thread is in the shape of a P, skateboard P. You see that line and you see the P. Good. We're going to make sure that the thread is actually towards us this time. And just pop it in there. Pop it in. Don't do anything. Pop it in. So right here you can see this little clip. That's where we're going to put the little thread under. Boom. Last thing, we have this little tooth right here. This is going to hold the thread out of the way and make sure it doesn't get caught with the needle thread and cause some problems for us. So let's just put it under there. This one's a little trickier. Awesome. We're going to cover that up. The last and most important part of threading your sewing machine is getting the bobbin thread connected with the needle thread. So how you do this is you pull the manual wheel forward while you actually pull upwards on the needle thread, and there should be a little loop that comes through this presser foot, and you pull the loop, and then you have both threads, and you throw it at the back of your machine so it doesn't get in the way of your fabric. I'm grabbing the thread, and I'm going to start manually pulling the wheel. This is going to move the needle, and I'm pulling up on the other thread to get that little loop. As you can see, that little loop up through our presser foot. This is perfect. That's the bobbin thread. Pull that loop, and you've got both strings together. We're just going to snip the ends and put it towards the back of us. And now it's time to make sure that you threaded your machine correctly. So we're going to do a little test run. Put the presser foot down to hold the fabric in place. Very important part. Otherwise, your needle will just keep going up and down and won't move forward or backwards if you do the reverse. And when you have a lot of fabric like this, you need to go slow, otherwise you'll break your needle, but that's for another video. Let's just test the reverse stitch on this. You want to make sure your needle is up out of the fabric so that you can pull it out. Mine's not all the way up. There we go. Boom. You know you're doing something right if you only see 2 threads that come out. It turned out fine.